there's obviously, as you mentioned, some key points to bring out and some methodology behind your preparation time. Would you like to expand on that a bit more?
Yeah, sure. So as I said, if you're running a half-day training course, a 5-day training course, the preparation is the same. If I'm asked to speak at a seminar, again, the preparation is the same.
Right.
I use the same templates and I use the same notebooks or laptops just to get my template into place. And all it's about is, what is the end? What is it these people will do, know, or experience at the end of my training session, my 5 days, or yeah. So it's what's the end goal, and if you clearly define that, and then, as I said earlier, understand the sub goals, i.e., I want them to really engage with me as an individual.
Yeah.
Then you can start structuring.
Right.
And you can write enough for an hour.
Yeah.
And then edit down.
Right. So that's the same as a video blog, because you can have an enormous amount of content that takes 15 minutes in front of your camera.
Yeah. And
people are going to turn off by a couple of minutes because they're bored already.
Yeah.
Unless you're engaging, of course. So yeah, it's quite a useful skill, I guess, to develop, to pare your content down.
Definitely. In
order to keep it short and concise.
One of the key issues that a lot of my delegates have with presentations is that they write lots and lots of notes and too much information.
Yeah.
And then they try to force that into the time they've been given.
Right.
And my first comment to them is, please don't stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because what they come to me to try and stop doing that. I don't want to have to write all these notes. It takes me hours, and I really haven't got the time. However, it's the volume that then creates the quality.
Yes, because you can pick and cherry pick.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If they start writing for 5 minutes,
yeah,
somebody will offer them a 10-minute slot.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And another thing, and then
they start filling.
Yeah. And it's that major pitfall with presentations. So always do lots more than you need.
Yeah.
So with video blogging, look at what can I possibly say to achieve my goals. Yeah. And that will be 3-4 hours of information, I'm sure.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you take that and you can use a technique that's called needs, must, and nice.
Yeah.
What needs to be in this presentation?
Okay.
For me to hit my goals and my objectives.
Makes sense. Yeah.
What must go in there? I.e., if I miss these points, I'll have missed my objective.
Yeah.
And what's nice to have.
Right.
And quite often when we're editing, we forget the nice stuff.
Yeah.
And the nice stuff is the personal story, or the funny example, or just a break to smile at camera.
Yeah.
That says, oh, it'd be nice to see me as a character.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
And I think if you use those 3 editing tools, you're more likely then to start saying, oh, now I'm getting closer to my objective.
Okay.
In our industry, what often happens with the way the economy is right now, if we have a 5-day customer service program, quite often clients will say, can you do it in 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're kind of going, yeah, I can do it in 2, but this must be in.
Yeah.
This would be nice to have.
Yeah.
And this needs, but maybe we can go without that part of the program.
So looking at the difference between needs and must. Must is obviously a must-have. So needs is
needs is the flexibility, right? And I think, of course, nice is flexible too.
Yeah.
But nice is kind of, if I miss the nice stuff, it will just be an information download.
Bad. Yeah.
So we need something in there. For example, again, when I'm structuring a training day, I would always put something in there that would say, energizer, relaxation, bit of fun.
Yeah.
If you can link it to the training, fantastic. But there's got to be something in there. Otherwise, it will just be an information download.
Yeah.
Dump to say, right, come and listen to me talk to you for a day.
That's not
what we do.
It's not engaging.
Definitely not. I know people that do.
Yeah.
But they're not very successful.
Them as well. Yeah.
And I think if you take that information and say, oh yeah, but that's training.
Yeah.
Well, what's a video blog?
Yeah.
Surely a video blog is transferring information to people to get them to do something different.
In a way, I would think that video blogging is not as easy as training because you've not got the interaction. So therefore, the more preparation you take in preparing your content for your video blog, the more interesting you have to make it in order to keep the audience watching.
It's true.
Because they can't interact, not easily anyway, not with our current technology. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Well, I think
you're watching this in the future, guys.
Yeah, repeated on Dave, probably. Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on. And part of your prep will be, how will they react to this?
Yeah.
Is there more than one way to see what I've just said?
Right. Yeah. Different learning styles and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And also that's the opportunity. That's why we say practice.
Yeah.
Because practice, if you can, with somebody, doesn't have to be an expert. Just has to be somebody who will listen.
Yeah.
And say, "Oh, what did you mean by that comment?"
Yeah.
Because you may be thinking, "Well, that's what I meant by it."
Yeah.
But the way it's perceived could be different. So you have to think, if I was viewing this on my laptop or my PC at home,
yeah,
could I misinterpret that information?
Right.
Would I get the message I'm trying to deliver?
So, looking at that in terms of the video blogging, if you've made a recording, show it to somebody who's not seen it before you make it go public.
Definitely.
Because it's a good tester, isn't it?
That's where there are some big mistakes we make.
Yeah.
Made out there. And it's not saying you were wrong, because your intentions would have been perfectly honourable. Yeah. This is what I want to say. This is how I would say it.
Yeah.
Because you can't manage people's reactions and feelings, you could run the risk of upsetting or people misinterpreting your words and finding you maybe too arrogant, or maybe finding you quite dull.
Yeah.
And those were never your objectives, I would hope.
Well, of course not. No. Okay.